Hi guys, welcome to Risk Perspective. In this video I will be reviewing Elimination Chamber 2023. So first up we had Asuka defeating Natalya, Nikki Cross, Raquel Gonzalez, Liv Morgan and Carmella in the Elimination Chamber to become the new #1 contender for the Raw Women's Championship. First off, I think that Bianca versus Asuka is going to be a really good match at WrestleMania. Genuinely looking forward to it. And I feel like Asuka should get the win in that one as well. I feel like Belair's run's got a bit stale at the minute. I think Asuka will be something new, especially with a new gimmick. The chamber itself was great. I preferred it to the men's chamber. I thought Liv being eliminated second was a shock. I assumed she was going to probably get final 2 or at least final 3. But making her pass out to 2 submissions still keeps her strong, in the same way that Raquel got pinned by 2 people, again making her look strong. But I'm unsure what a lot of people in this match are going to do come WrestleMania, especially Liv and Raquel and Carmella. You know, I don't know what they're going to be doing, apart from them bringing back the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal, which I can't see them doing. They didn't do it last year, they only had the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. But I think that's really the only place they fit in, unless they form tag teams, which I really hope they don't do this year. One thing I was surprised about was Carmella getting final 2. I would have put her first to be eliminated, or one of the first to be eliminated, but she wasn't. The brutal pod break between Raquel and Nikki Cross was awful to see. You know, it really hurt. But again, it makes Cross look strong and mental at the same time, which I suppose is what they're going for with Nikki Cross. But yeah, I think overall Raquel and Asuka had really good performances throughout the match. But for me, the correct winner won in this one. Asuka was a perfect winner for this. She wasn't as dominant during the match as I thought she was going to be. But other than that, I think the match was really good. I said I preferred it to the men's chamber, as you can see on screen. I thought it was match of the night. And yeah, looking forward to Belair versus Asuka at WrestleMania. And from match of the night, we go to the worst match of the night, which in my opinion was Bobby Lashley defeating Brock Lesnar by disqualification. Why this was a DQ finish, I have no idea. I was incredibly disappointed with this one. I was really looking forward to it going in. I thought they'd burn the house down. I thought it'd be a really good match, especially compared to the other 2. I thought it would exceed those ones, but it simply wasn't the case. I'm not sure why they went for the DQ finish, especially when Bray Wyatt called them both out on the SmackDown before this. It just made no sense. After seeing SmackDown this week, I assumed that Bray Wyatt's going after Bobby Lashley because he did win the match, but I was expecting a more definitive winner. And it seems like Brock's going to face Omos, which I'm really not looking forward to. It's going to be quite a slow match. I think the visual of having Brock F5 Omos will be incredible, but the match itself is going to be really bad. Or at least that's how I'm expecting it to go. But yeah, it was just, as I said, it was really disappointing. I was expecting a lot more from these 2. The 3 matches they've had aren't great. I think, as I said, I was just expecting more, and it's disappointing. So yeah, for me, worst match of the night, wrong decision having it to DQ, and they're probably going to run it back again, so hopefully they do it better that time. So following that, we had Beth Phoenix and Edge defeat of the Judgment Day of Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley. It was a decent match, better than I expected it was going to be. I enjoyed it more. Dominic on the outside and such a hot crowd, you know, telling him to F off and stuff like that. I thought it was really good. It really added to the match, even though he wasn't in the match itself, which I was surprised about. I thought it was going to be Dominic and Rhea versus Edge and Beth, not Finn Balor. But yeah, I think having Beth and Rhea have altercations with Edge and Balor, kind of as a man on woman type thing, I thought was really good. It shows that, because I think a lot of people were thinking that, especially with Phoenix being in the men's rumble before, and Rhea's had matches with men before, I feel like it was a perfect fit to have the male versus female type thing happen. And I don't see the controversy as well. I understand the controversy, I just disagree with it. I think that, I know that Impact do a lot and I respect them for that, and I don't see the issue with it. You know, all the people in the ring know what they're doing, so it shouldn't be seen as man on woman violence or anything like that. But yeah, however, I did think the wrong team won here. Rhea should have really got the win, especially after winning the Rumble in the previous months, and then she's going on to face Charlotte at WrestleMania. I feel like, yeah, she definitely should have got the win here. Edge and Beth didn't need the win. I understand that it'll probably help the story progress, especially as Balor cost Edge the US title on Raw the next night. But yeah, just as I said, just having Rhea go into a match with Charlotte on a loss doesn't feel great, makes me very not confident, especially with it being Charlotte, who's known for winning on pay-per-views all the time. But yeah, I mean, as I said, I'm looking forward to the match with Charlotte, and hopefully the right result happens with Rhea becoming the new SmackDown Women's Champion. But it wouldn't surprise me if Charlotte went over again. She went over Ronda Rousey last year at WrestleMania. But hopefully Triple H makes the right call and Rhea gets the win. But that's WrestleMania. This is Elimination Chamber. And said the match was a lot better. I genuinely really enjoyed it. Next up we had a Theory defeat Johnny Gargano, Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed, Damian Priest and Montez Ford in the Elimination Chamber match, and he retains the United States Championship. I thought this was a quality chamber. Everyone kind of got a good showing in this one. I think both chambers as a whole were really good, to be fair. It's probably one of the better Elimination Chamber pay-per-views that there's ever been, and it holds up towards any of the other chambers that have happened before, especially going back to the first one. I've recently been going back and watching some old chamber matches, and it really does hold up and it's really good, both of them, men's and women's. Some really good performances from Johnny Gargano and Montez Ford in my opinion. The cool spot between Gargano and Rollins on top of the pod, and Gargano doing a Hurricane Rana, looking like he was going to land on his head. I thought he did it first, but when it showed the replay, luckily he hadn't. Logan Paul getting involved, not very sure on that one. I kind of saw it coming, once I heard rumours that he was around Elimination Chamber. It was kind of, I knew he'd come in. Thought using Ford as an injury was a risky move, as people didn't want to see him injured, and I know they were very concerned after the match. But luckily he's not, and he's fine, and it does seem like Rollins is going to face Logan Paul at WrestleMania, which I'm actually kind of looking forward to after seeing Logan Paul and Roman earlier this year, well, later last year, sorry. I'm looking forward to that one. I feel like it's going to definitely see how athletic Logan can get, as Seth's more of a technical wrestler, whereas Roman's more of a powerhouse. So I'm looking forward to see how that goes. I mean, Logan could put on a 5-star match possibly with Rollins. Be interesting to see the first celebrity 5-star match. As for the rest of the match, I thought it was really good. Bronson looked good. Taking a Poison Rana from Gargano looks genuinely terrifying. But yeah, I feel like Theory's probably going to face Cena at WrestleMania. I know Cena's due back. I think it's on not this week's Raw, but next week. And I've got a feeling they might set that match up there. Whether Cena wins and whether it's for the US title, I don't know. I assume it'll be for the US title, but whether he wins, I'm not sure. I kind of hope he does, and then does an open challenge, and we possibly get a Jay White or Ibushi debut afterwards, maybe. But yeah, I think, as I said, both chambers were really good. I enjoyed them both. I thought, as I've repeated loads of times, the women's match is the better one in my opinion. But this holds up perfectly well. As I said, it's really good. I would suggest going and watching both if you haven't seen them already. But yeah, so Theory goes into WrestleMania as United States Champion. And finally, the main event, Roman Reigns defeated Sami Zayn to retain the WWE Universal Championships. Man, the crowd was hot for this one. It didn't surprise me that Zayn got the kind of reception he did. It reminded me of Rob Van Dam in ECW One Night Stand 2006, CM Punk Money in the Bank 2011. It was that kind of crowd, and they really did add to the match incredibly. Having Zayn's wife in the crowd, being constantly, well, not constantly, but every so often it'd go over to her, and you could see the nervousness on her face, which again added to the match. It was perfectly done. And I think the only issue I really had with it is that I think it went a bit too long, and the final part of the match with Jay possibly turning, and then the chair attack, and then the final 1, 2, 3, I thought it was a bit abrupt. And it kind of, what I did love was the silence at the end. It was like you could cut the tension with a knife with the silence of the crowd at the end when they realised Sami had not done it and he'd lost. But there was a moment or two when I genuinely thought Sami was going to get the win, and again the crowd added into that a lot. The Jay part was a bit of a letdown, I'm not going to lie to you. I was watching with my brother, and my brother said he would mark out if Jay hit Roman with a chair, and he didn't, and it was kind of disappointing. One, because I'd want to see my brother mark out. I've never seen him do that before, and just because it would have made such an impactful part of the match, and it would have probably made it be more memorable for that reason. But we continue, sorry, with the with the Bloodline and Sami Zayn going into WrestleMania. What Sami does at WrestleMania, I have no idea, to be fair. Like, if I had to guess / assume, he's going to go for the tag titles with Kevin Owens and facing the Usos. But I generally don't know. It feels like one of those moments like Daniel Bryan where he's going to get added in and it's going to be a triple threat with Cody. But yeah, I think I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind it. I'd prefer if it wasn't. But I don't know. One thing I have noticed about Roman Reigns matches is that Roman talks a lot similar to how Ronda Rousey does and Natalya, and it really does start getting on your nerves a bit, or at least it gets on my nerves during the match. But yeah, I think Reigns was clearly winning, and it didn't take away from the match, which was really good. I know that there's been some title matches Reigns has had where it's been so clear he's winning, so it's like I'm not as invested in the match. But this one, I had my bits of doubt, whereas I thought Sami might get it. But Roman in the end got it, and it didn't shock me at all. I am interested to see what Sami Zayn does come WrestleMania. I said I think it'll be a tag team match, and obviously Roman's got Cody. I would love to see Roman face Sami on night 1 for the Universal title and face Cody on night 2 for the WWE title. And they lose them both in one night, and then he kind of goes away for a bit, maybe comes back around SummerSlam. But I don't think that is actually going to happen, though I would love it if it did. But yeah, as a whole, looking forward to WrestleMania. This pay-per-view was really good. I thought it was one of the stronger. I think it will be seen as one of the stronger ones of the year, in my opinion. And again, if we can get a crowd like that every pay-per-view, it'd be incredible. But yeah, it's a really enjoyable main event, emotional, worth getting invested in. The ending wasn't great, but the match itself was decent. I enjoyed it. So those were my thoughts and opinions on Elimination Chamber 2023. Do leave a comment down below, any feedback for the video, or anything you think is going to happen at WrestleMania, what you thought of the show itself, anything like that. It'll help the algorithm if you leave a comment just about the video and anything like that. And do you like the video? Share if you want as well, it'll help the channel a lot. And speaking of the channel, I do want to give a thank you. My Elimination Chamber predictions video got over 120 views, which is almost double what the next highest got. So I'm very thankful for that. I appreciate everyone watching and hope you enjoy the content that I'm putting out. But yeah, the next video I'll be doing is my AEW Revolution predictions, which will be later on this week. A show I'm definitely looking forward to, but this is a WWE show, WWE video, so I'll keep it with WWE. But yeah, thank you very much for all the views. I do appreciate it, and I will see you later on this week for the predictions for Revolution.